Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome back to another edition of What's in the Bag, Jay. Now, this is a segment where I pick 6 movies from my collection that I haven't seen, write their names on a piece of paper, throw them in the bag, draw one out at random, and do a review. Now, returning from last week is Zombie Fight Club. And yes, I got a new tripod. Insaniac. A House is Not a Home. Fantasy Island. Vampire Over London. And making its debut this week is Jack Goes Home. Now, I'm going to give the bag a good tussle. We're going to find out what we're going to watch and review this week. All right. We have, oh cool, Fantasy Island. Nice. Been wanting to see that. Even though I haven't heard great things. I'm going to set all the movies side by side by side. But yeah, I've actually been wanting to see Fantasy Island. Pick up my trusty Freddy vs. Jason die. And we're going to see what comes back next week. Four. All right. Give the bag another good tussle. And Frankie is patiently waiting for a treat. All right. Oh, 2 of them came out that time. Let's see. Just do one back in. We have A House is Not a Home. Let's mix these up again. Jack Goes Home. Can't get it open. Zombie Fight Club. And last but certainly not least is let's see. Vampire Over London. Now, if you want to see Insaniac come back, because I know I do, please vote for it. Otherwise, I'm going to watch Fantasy Island and come back with a review later. Well, I'm back. I just watched Fantasy Island, and here are my thoughts. Now, Blumhouse's Fantasy Island is a 2020 film, which runs approximately 109 minutes. Now, if you'll notice, this comes with the unrated and the theatrical. Not sure if you guys know this about me, but I'll always watch the unrated version simply because it probably has more gore, more language, more whatever. But there's not really much difference in the runtime. It's a matter of maybe a minute or seconds. All right, now this is written and directed by Jeff Wadlow. Now, he was responsible for Kick-Ass 2, which I loved, Cry Wolf, which I thought was a pretty cool slasher, and Never Back Down, which I also enjoyed. Now, this stars Michael Pena as Mr. Rourke. He was in The Mule, Extinction, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and of course, Ant-Man. Maggie Q as Gwen Olsen. She was in Slumber, The Crash, and Allegiant, which is part of the Divergent series. And Lucy Hale as Melanie Cole. She was in Truth or Dare, Blumhouse's Truth or Dare, Scream 4, and Secret of the Wings. Now, this I thought was really interesting. This had a budget of $7 million, and it grossed worldwide almost $49 million. So it made money. I think it even beat 7 million in the states. Fantasy Island. Now, this is something I'm not going to be able to talk too much about without spoiling it, because this is, of course, is based on, loosely, I will say, based on the TV show from the early 80s, if I remember correctly. Now, I did watch that when I was really, really young, and of course, you had people that go onto this island to live their fantasies. You had the little guy that goes deplane, deplane. Everybody knows the whole thing. Hervé Villechaize, I believe his name is. He passed away, unfortunately. Um, Now, this, of course, is taking that and going in a slightly different direction. And I will say, the different direction that they took it in, I thought was kind of interesting. Now, of course, you have this plane of people. I believe there was 6 people, if I'm not mistaken. You have a guy who wants to be in the military, a girl who wants to, or a lady actually, who wants to redo her biggest mistake of her life was not accepting a proposal. You have 2 brothers, one of them is adopted. Um, I don't want to get into what they want to do. And a young lady who I'm also not going to say what she wants to do because it'll give away a lot of what this movie's about. Okay, suffice it to say, you go into the island and you see Mr. Rourke in his white suit, leisure suit, and you have his assistant, which is not Tattoo in this one. It is a lady who apparently is suffering with some kind of condition. I'm kind of trying to be vague about this because if I give away all the twists and turns, and if I give away what makes this really different, you're not going to want to watch it. And that's what I suggest is that you watch it because it's actually not a bad film. Now, I have seen a ton of hate on this movie. And unfortunately, like most things, people love to hate on things. It seems to be fashionable these days. If I hate this or if I rant about it, then I'm going to get so many views. I've seen it happen time and time again in things that don't necessarily warrant the hate. A lot of people call this one of the worst horror movies of last year, and I disagree. I've seen a lot worse. But with that being said, was it one of the best? No. Now, I actually watched this with my wife because she was curious about this as well because she grew up like I did watching Fantasy Island on television. And, it comes off as being kind of meh. The concept I thought was brilliant. It was very interesting. It has kind of a lesson in there that be careful what you wish for because you just might get it. Our fantasies can take an awful turn. I thought that was interesting. I thought that what made the fantasies come true, which they do explain in this, for good or for worse. I mean, some people want it to be a mystery. Some people, me, I like things sometimes explained. So I thought that was interesting. But after all the amazing twists that they took with this and the interesting stuff that they put into this film and the writing, the character development was just kind of eh. Do you really care about these characters? And most of the time in a horror film, especially in slashers, I don't care. This is not a slasher movie, so you do need that character development in order to really care about what these people are going through. That's kind of lacking in this one. But do I recommend it? Like my library rents movies for free. Of course, I haven't been there for a long time because they've been shut down because of COVID. But if you can get to a library, yeah, why not? Give it a shot. You might like it. It's not one that I'll probably be revisiting again anytime soon, but I did not think it was that bad. It was definitely worth a watch. Although, I'm glad I didn't spend $12 on it in the theater. So, take that for what it's worth. And don't forget to vote for the one that didn't make it. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.